Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good week. We look forward to Shabbos, and I look forward to seeing everyone who will be in Shul on Shabbos after being away last week. We also note we mark today as the 140th day, 20 weeks since the attack on October 7th on Simchas Torah, and we continue to daven for. We continue to, if there's anything we practically can do to help, to increase the merit for the hostages that are still being held in Gaza, for the soldiers that are fighting right now, and for all of their families and the entire Jewish people. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Tetzaveh, we turn from the construction of the Mishkan itself, which was discussed in last week's Parsha, to the clothing that the Kohanim would wear. And the Torah pays great attention and great detail and great emphasis to the clothing that the Kohanim would wear. It's not just what the Kohanim would do, but the way they were dressed was very important. The Torah says, Hashem commands Moshe Rabbeinu, "V'asu bigdei kodesh shel Aaron achicha," you should make these holy garments for Aaron, your brother, and the Kohanim. Lechavod l'sifar is to bring honor and splendor to them, to the Beis Hamikdash, the Mishkan, and ultimately, of course, to Hashem Himself. The Gemara makes a comment that ma karbanos mechaprim, just like the offering of the sacrifices would achieve atonement and bring merit to the Jewish people, af bigdei kahuna mechaprim, so too the clothing, just the clothing, if the Kohanim would do nothing, but just putting on the clothing, putting on that uniform, would bring atonement. The way I understand that is that it wasn't only what the Kohanim did that, again, could atone for a sin or bring merit to the Jewish people or a particular person, but just being Kohanim, just being there in their garments, being a model for what they were supposed to model, being an inspiration for the Jewish people, just their personalities, if they were righteous, when they would put those garments on, brought great merit and atonement to the Jewish people. And the Gemara explains how each garment of the Kohen or the Kohen Gadol atoned for a particular sin, and in general, they almost all atoned for interpersonal sins between a person and his or her fellow. In the most extreme case, the ketones, the sort of under basic cloak that the Kohen would wear, atoned for murder, like the ketones pasim, an allusion to the cloak of Yosef and the sin of the brothers. But also the bells on the bottom of the me'il, the fully tcheles blue, longer outer cloak of the Kohen Gadol, atoned for the sin of Lashon Hara, that the chiming of the bells was an atonement for the whispers of gossip. So the begadim, what they modeled, the personality, what they modeled was an atonement for these sins. We can connect to this a comment of the Malbim in the very beginning of the Parsha. The Malbim notes that the Torah seems to repeat the mitzvah to make and to dress the Kohanim in these garments. And the Malbim explains that there was a double mitzvah, that Moshe Rabbeinu was to make sure they wore these correct, physical, holy garments, uniforms of the Kohen service, but also it is meant symbolically that the Kohanim should be dressed with holy garments. Shabbat Salamar Shebigdei Hanefesh Shehem Midoseha Utchunoseha You Levenim Mikol Shemetz, that the personal attributes, character traits, personality, and mindset of the Kohanim, for they are the Bigdei Nefesh, they are the garments that clothe our soul. The way we present ourselves to people are the garments, the clothing that we wear physically, and the spiritual, emotional, personality garments that we present to the world. And the Kohanim are supposed to be models of such people with beautiful midos and character traits, Kohanim that were honest and loyal, who were upright, who were just, who were kind, who were sharing, who were welcoming, who were positive, who were joyful, who were appreciative. The Kohanim were supposed to wear these attributes on themselves, and that is what the garments were supposed to radiate. And thus, they brought kapara, they brought atonement and merit to the Jewish people. It is, I think, a helpful mashal to think about. Sometimes we have to decide what garments will we wear. How am I going to present myself? I have my own inner thoughts and feelings, but we all have to put on certain clothing, how to present ourselves, what energy, will we project outwards when we go to work or go to shul or come home from these places to our family members or spend time with others? We want to wear big de kodesh. It's not enough just to serve Hashem. A person can offer great karbanos, learn so much Torah, do so many mitzvos, but if they're wearing garments that do not bring kavod and tifaris, do not bring glory and honor to Hashem, because they're wearing garments that are negative and sad and unwelcoming and overly stern, then we're not following the model of the Kohanim. We are meant to be Mamleches Kohanim, a kingdom of priests. We are all priests serving Hashem in the high temple of this world, and we are all called to serve Him, to offer karbanos on the Mizbeach, so to speak, to learn and to daven and to perform Hashem's mitzvos, and we're supposed to do it in a way that brings honor and glory to Him. We're supposed to wear big day kodesh, holy garments, and we're supposed to be cleaning our garments, adorning our garments, refining our character traits. We want to radiate, again, chesed and rachmim, kindness and care, and a welcoming attitude, and joyfulness and positivity. That is the lesson to learn from the clothing of the Kohanim, which is what the entire parsha is about. The Torah is saying it is not enough. It is not only important what we do, but it is how we present ourselves and the model we are for other people. The Kohanim were meant to be the servants of Hashem in the Beis Hamikdash, and they're meant to be the inspiring model of what it means to be a good person as well. And in that regard, we all hope to be Kohanim in the Mamlechas Kohanim of the Jewish people. Everyone should have a good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom.